Hey, we're back on the Pirate Broadcast, and I just wanted to share the fact that I'm a different environment because I'm in Houston today. Flew over here for a little while, see my son, friends, and some clients. So I just wanted to highlight the fact that I'm meeting today on StreamYard with Michelle. So she is also in Houston. Welcome to the show, Michelle. How are you today?
I'm fantastic, Russ. It's raining here today, and you came from hot, dry, sunny weather to all this rain. But that's okay. We call it liquid sunshine, right? So we need rain too.
It's liquid sunshine, and we also understand that the sun is just on the other side of the clouds. So
That's right.
never fear. So, Michelle, we've known each other for a little while, and you've been in the HR industry and the recruiting industry, and you have utilized LinkedIn for many different reasons and different kind of aspects of LinkedIn. And so, what has your LinkedIn journey been, and what have you really applied to your business, and how does that mesh into day-to-day activities?
Well, I guess I can say I've been a LinkedIn user since 2004.
Uh-huh.
That's a long time. I'm aging myself and dating myself now,
Yeah.
because I'm only 25. So, but yeah, I remember back, I actually started and was introduced to it when it was way back in 2004. It was called headhunter.net. And LinkedIn had acquired them. Being in the recruiting industry, we're always looking for the latest and greatest in online technology. And that's when online was really, really popular. And I thought I was probably got onto something that was really great. No, it made me very, very successful in my recruiting career. And as time evolved, and I started my own recruiting business in 2000 end of 2000, I just continued to keep on using it as the word LinkedIn started to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say that I've used it 8 to 10 hours a day constantly, and started to figure out and get creative on all the tricks and the tips and the ways to kind of funnel my way through, and the domino effect to kind of get the results. And people kept asking me, how are you finding all these people? And it was really just more quite curiosity of me learning the technology and the tool itself. Then what happened is in 2016, fast forward, Microsoft acquired LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But previous to that, 3 years previous to that, my main industry in me recruiting is oil and gas, and oil and gas took a huge, huge economic hit in a recession. And I remember the day I was sitting with my business coach, and we were actually coaching on a different type of program that I wanted to work on. And I remember somebody had called me, and I said, I'm sorry, I need to take this call. And I navigated through LinkedIn in front of her, and then I hung up. I said, okay, I'm sorry, let's just continue. She said, oh my gosh, that's what you need to do. And I said, do what? She said, what you just did right there, navigating in LinkedIn so fast. She said, people don't know how to do that. You need to teach people how to do that. I said, everybody knows how to use LinkedIn. And I went, wow. So we kind of pivoted and retooled kind of the programs, and I put together workshops probably for the first year, on a monthly basis with job seekers who were looking on how to use the functionalities of LinkedIn.
Uh-huh.
Didn't know what I was doing, but I was just showing them all these different things. And it would blew my mind that these people, I get 50, 60, 70 people show up in a room at the same time. And all the questions, we'd spend 4 or 5 hours there, and they're asking tons of questions. I'm thinking, I cannot believe that these people do not know how to do this. So I was onto something and started creating programs to where people were coming to me privately and saying, I want to work with you one-on-one.
Yeah.
So it kind of evolved and started kind of growing its own legs. And I've been doing that for 5 years.
So you're still in the recruiting industry at the same time.
Yeah.
And that, because I know, I remember when I was still here in Houston, and you were training LinkedIn, and you had some classes and courses going on, and we've talked back and forth. And I'm like you. It's like, I think everybody knows how to navigate and use this program, and we get in this like cone of silence where we it's like the cone of knowledge where it's like, okay, if we know it, everybody knows it. And that's not the case.
Yeah, it's like brushing your teeth. And, this is what I'll say to the people that are even watching. It's like we have so many talents and gifts
Mm-hmm.
that the world needs to know. I didn't think that me being a user of LinkedIn would be something that people would want to know, even still today, because I speak and I'm
Yeah.
a unofficial volunteer ambassador brand ambassador for Microsoft. And I speak at their stores. I speak to even some of their employees don't even know how to use LinkedIn. So it's ever evolving, and it's something that, when I walk in a room, you've created your brand when you walk in a room and people don't know, I don't know people, and they go, hey, you're that LinkedIn, you're that Ask girl, that LinkedIn girl. So I guess obviously it's working.
Well, and I've been to some LinkedIn locals, and I've had people come up to me in
Yeah.
events and say, hey, I know you from LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And so it does work. So what are some things that Michelle is doing that is unique to your business in recruiting? Because I know there are a lot of recruiters on LinkedIn. There's a lot of recruiters that enjoy the opportunity, and whether or not you're on the searching for people or responding to people, and how does that all play out in day-to-day activity? I mean, what is the bulk of your activity as a recruiter?
Well, here's what I'll say. I'm a combination of 3 top ingredients.
Uh,
I'm a get off your ASK expert. I'm a LinkedIn traffic cop,
okay.
combining that as being an executive recruiter. So what does that mean? I take all of those 3 ingredients and I make it into a recipe and a formula. And I teach people, actually, first of all, how to specifically verbalize by asking and choosing boldly proper defined words in order to get the things that they want. And then I translate a lot of those words content verbally, and the reason why I say that is I have found through the years of being an executive recruiter for 20 plus some years, when I interview people, they can talk about what it is that they do, but they can't get specific about telling me what they do. And then they can't match up the words verbally. They have a hard time
Mm,
into writing it. And so LinkedIn is a human data analytics tool and platform where you get recognized through keywords. It's optimized that way. And so I
yeah.
found when I talk, like I could talk to you,
Mm-hmm.
but then I read your LinkedIn profile or read your resume, it doesn't match up.
Right.
So I try to get them really defined that way by simplifying the formula and saying, tell me what you want on your pizza.
Mm,
And I get,
yeah.
and they can easily tell me what kind of pizza they like, what kind of toppings they want. And I said, now I want you to translate that into what you want in your business. And I utilize the tagline or the headline or the ask statement underneath your name, because it's like walking into a drugstore
Yeah.
and the doctor just told you go get some B12 vitamins, or the vitamin store.
Uh-huh.
And you walk in and there's a whole aisle of B12 vitamins. How do you know which is the right one?
Yeah.
So you've got to stand out some way. And when people view your profile, they see your picture, they see your headline, okay, and they see the first of 2, 3 lines of the about statement. How do you jump out?
Yeah. Well, I think you've done that across your career all over, because the branding has been very specific. And I know, for people that don't know you, you're also a speaker, you're
Yeah,
also a singer, and
yeah,
and a performer and a
yeah,
dancer. And
yes,
there's lots of dimensions to Michelle that a lot of people may not know, because one thing is that when you step up your ask, right, and it brings in that certain element of your business, you really have to think about, okay, what is it that I'm asking for? Because even though we have a lot of layers of talent and interests and curiosities, when it comes down to business and when it comes down to LinkedIn, I think we have to be very clear on our ask. And that's one thing that I've never been good at. I mean, I think even you, have probably asked me, Russ, what is it exactly that you do?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I don't want to make anybody right or wrong, good or bad, indifferent.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. At the end of the road, whatever that final destination is,
Uh-huh.
we all are unique. We're all amazing in our own way. But here's what I'll say. I really appreciate what you're doing for this LinkedIn world and LinkedIn audience, because you've introduced me, even by me going back into the Pirate Broadcast and seeing some really amazing LinkedIn experts.
Uh-huh.
I call myself a LinkedIn expert in my own unique way, but I follow a lot of these people as well too, because I
Yeah.
believe in co-opetition. I
Mm-hmm.
just want to see how they navigate their waters. But for me, my way was that asking through having questions and being curious. And I have a high school degree. I don't have the PhDs. I don't have the MBAs. I talk to a lot of people like that and I respect them but that's what's kind of gotten me to where I am. And that's kind of like my success, is asking a lot of questions, being very, very curious. I'm a why person. If I don't know why, then I keep asking and I keep asking. And then I get to the final, oh, so what you're trying to tell me is you want pepperoni, mushrooms, extra crust, and cheese on your pizza. And they're like, yeah, I've been trying to say that for years.
Well, it's interesting because, like you said, ask better questions.
Yeah,
Get very clear and concise on what you're asking and what you really want and desire. Because I know a lot of people, myself included, it's like I get bored. So over the years, I've been purposefully, I'll work on some things and I'll work on some cool projects, and then I'll be done with those projects and I'll move on to something else. So I don't know how to describe that. It's around technology. I do a lot of cool things, broadcasting, radio, television, video, audio, and so it's really about how I can bring things together. And I think a lot of people are still working through that. And what I always get the sense of is you have to go out and try these things. You have to go out
that's
and
right.
test them and evaluate them. And all of the LinkedIn people that are really, really good at LinkedIn, they get that way because they have been out testing things. They've been out trial. I talked with Jared yesterday, and on his show, we were talking about before the show started, we were talking about the testing, test a few things. And then afterwards, we were talking about, hey, on the promos, maybe you could do text only, and maybe you try some different images, and maybe you try some things that are going on. And so this evaluation process is really important for us to understand that, there is no one answer. There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. It's
No,
just,
there's not. Yeah.
yeah.
Like I said, it's a very creative domino effect of being LinkedIn. Now, here's what I'll say. LinkedIn is a very complex tool, which has made my job very easy.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody has their thing. Like for me, I'm not the LinkedIn technology person that's going to study all the data analytics and all that. I'm the person that when you walk in at the gym and you see all that gym equipment, I teach you how to use the equipment.
Yeah.
So, because people don't know, like I'll hear from a recruiter ear what they're looking for, as if I would talk to a corporate client who's looking to hire. I'd ask more questions and I say, okay, so here's what you need to do. Click on that there. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I say I'm the traffic cop. I stand in the middle of the lights when the lights go out and I direct traffic. I say, you go over here. Okay, no, you turn, stop. Okay, you turn. All right, signal, caution. Because the thing about it is that I point, you click. Because people need to learn from my perspective as by doing.
Yeah.
I won't do it for you. You got to learn by doing.
Yeah. Well, it's just absolutely important because, and I think I believe in the power of LinkedIn. I believe in the power and the opportunities that it brings, because I mean, I have some very amazing relationships as a result of LinkedIn, and it's no longer geographical. We don't have to worry about the geography we're in.
Right.
We don't have to worry about, even time zones. I've had some people on from Australia in the middle of the night. They get up and they do their show, and it's like crazy. And we have so much to learn. And the more I know, the less I know. It's like,
Well, you don't know what you don't know. And here's what I'll say. I move people from I know that I didn't know that And so now what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right? Because we can sit with that, but activity equals results on LinkedIn, and you know that. It is optimized. It's like, that's why I say when people coach with me, there's no guarantees because it varies per user.
Yeah.
If you have to use it, you got to use the gym equipment. You've got to make the activity happen to get your results. Just like in recruiting, I got to get very creative with my words. I'm like, that's not working. Okay, let me try these filters, or let me go this way. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't see that person. Like, it has to be. It's a very curious, creative tool where you can play around with a lot of different creative keywords. And I'm a very creative person,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like you. You're
Yeah.
creative.
And the beauty of it, I love this conversation because people have an opportunity to make some amazing connections on LinkedIn. So essentially, from a recruiting perspective, you're searching for a certain person, a certain type of person. Do you have a set workflow that you go through and do searching, or is it just like?
It's all different per person. So here's what I'll say. I organically grew
Mhm.
my LinkedIn audience and LinkedIn itself from just my own individual profile. But being in the recruiting industry and how evolving it's been from an automation standpoint, I also use the LinkedIn Recruiter tool. So it's almost
Okay.
like the Sales Navigator, but it's a recruiting tool for the recruiting industry,
Mm.
which is a platform where I have more access, larger. I get to review the whole LinkedIn world audience, whereas on an individual profile, you're limited to your 3 connections.
Right.
So I can look at all. I have access to all 650 million people. I just have to get creative with filters and keywords, but everything's going to be different. So, like, currently, right now, we're looking to hire um, in the manufacturing industry a project engineer who's got experience in electrical and mechanical design with electrical components. What I do is I have to get really creative, from requirements to skill sets to job titles to geographic location, to competitor companies. But I utilize that as my headline
Mm-hmm.
underneath my name. If anybody is looking or goes to my LinkedIn profile, you're going to see an ask statement, which is what I help people create.
Mm.
And that ask statement is not an ask as in, hey, I'm looking for a job. Hey, buy from me. Hey, I'm selling this. It's, I'm just looking to either collaborate, connect, or network,
Mm.
because it may not be a direct hit with somebody that is in that space. It may be 6 levels down of it through a domino effect. So what happens, and it has worked for me. I'll put that out there. That's how I stand out as the B12 vitamin in the aisle that you need to pick.
Yeah.
And so what happens is, I have people that randomly will send me a private message just by reviewing my headline and saying, hey, I see you're looking for actually project engineers in the electronic components industry. How can I help you?
Mm.
And now I'm able to take it to say, well, I'm looking to hire, da, da, da. Can you request any associations, networks,
Yeah.
individuals, companies that I can talk to?
Well, I believe we're only two conversations away from
Yeah,
getting exactly what we need.
exactly.
And so I love that idea of being able to put the ask statement up there. And I think it brings a lot of power because it's very, you have a lot of intent there. You have a lot of motion going on there. It's like, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Can you help me? I want to give a shout out. Kieran is here. Wendy, Lori, Roger. It's sad that you're in Houston and Tony and I are in Vegas. I cannot believe
Hi,
you guys.
everybody.
Lewis, Sherry, thank you so much for being here. Jill Brown, Sharitha, Gabriel, thank you so much for being here, man. Richard Pickett, and yes, my camera is much brighter today. It's a different camera.
It's Houston. That's Houston
It's
does
Houston.
that.
Lonnie Ray, yeah, share your talents and gifts, and you get even more. Fantastic. So Vicki O'Neill, she's another expert. Vicki introduced me to John Esperian and Jeff Young and Brenda Miller, and all of these people are people that I've had on the show that are just really very talented individuals. Jason yesterday, he's an amazing individual on the talent and the expertise on LinkedIn. So, and Wendy, I can see your confidence. It does feel good to know your purpose. So she's giving you a shout out there.
Thank you, Wendy.
And good morning, troops. Jerry, thank you for the shout out. I want to make sure that we kind of map this out for other people that are, because we also, Michelle, we're broadcasting to Facebook, YouTube,
Perfect.
and Periscope. And there are individuals that are not familiar with LinkedIn and everything else. And I think in life, this goal of defining what your ask is and really being clear on your purpose and what your goals are right now. That's not to say they can't change down the road,
Right.
and you can't do something else next year. What it is, though, is when people get clear about what they want in life, things seem to open up, introductions seem to happen, events take place, and it happens to me every single time I get very clear on what my goal is. So is that something that you can relate to in your life as well?
Oh, absolutely. But here's what I'll say. It's not right or wrong, but the biggest thing is you have to be careful when you are verbalizing, or even what I see sometimes on LinkedIn profiles in the headlines is people want to combine all of the things that they want in their headline and they smash it in. CEO, PMP, doctorate, fashion designer, design engineer. You have to learn to ask for one thing at one time because you confuse your audience. Doesn't say you can't ask for anything, but there's a book called One Thing.
Yep.
And it teaches you how to ask for one thing at one time. I help people formulate how to ask for one thing at one time and then use their ask statement. And I can literally have a 10-minute conversation with somebody and I can hear probably about 5 or 6 different ask statements in there that I can help them condense and utilize. Hey, I can say, hey, try it on your LinkedIn profile. You got to stand out and be different because you got to remember when you optimize, if you just type the word in project manager on your LinkedIn headline, you're going to get 200 pages of the word project manager. How are you going to stand out? Because you have to write in the context of what your viewers are looking for, not how you know it.
And I think a lot of people, myself included, is that we're not thinking enough about the end user. Like I was talking about the whole idea of if I know it, everybody knows it, and that's not the case. The case is that you have to speak like someone that doesn't know anything about what you're talking about.
And you got to catch them in layman's terms. That's why, like, if someone says to me, they'll say, well, I'm looking for a project manager job. Yeah. I'm like, well, what does that mean?
What kind of project manager?
What is that? Is it what industry? And then I go and I keep digging, and then they stop me and go, are you a lawyer? I'm like, no, I'm good at asking to get really clear about what it is that you want so I can help you.
Yeah.
And in my speaking, when I speak, I do a lot of speaking. I can sit in an audience and say, what are you looking for? And then I can formulate it right there real fast, get them to stand up and go, okay, so this is what you're looking for. And I'll go, who in here can help this person? And it's amazing from general all the way to specific how many people can help that person.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time we met?
No. I'm sure I probably asked you a lot of questions.
I was just going to say, my message wasn't clear and you called me out on it. And it was like,
that's true, probably.
It's like, what are you doing?
You're like, who is this girl asking me all these questions?
And it was totally out of a place of love and caring and wanting to help. And so your confidence is just awesome. And I just love you. And it's just amazing to hang out with you on this, the Pirate Broadcast. And I just want to make sure that people understand that if you're not connected to Michelle, say Russ sent you. And if you are talented in some way and you're looking for something else in your life and you may want to take a move, she'd be a good one to contact. Is that true? Is that accurate?
Yeah. And I have a website. It's ask,
Uh-huh.
about LinkedIn.com, and it combines all of the ingredients I said I was.
Uh-huh.
I do groups, associations, corporate events, or individual one-to-one programs and coaching. And I combine all of that into one, working with an individual. So I can hit someone who's just a corporate business professional,
Mm-hmm.
a business, or a job seeker, or a recruiter, because I speak all of that language and live my life like that daily. So I
Yeah.
understand the true nuance of LinkedIn from that perspective.
Mm. And I think that so many people are searching for that opportunity to know and understand a little bit more about the tools they're using and the things they're on. Because LinkedIn is actually where you take action. You know, Facebook
Yeah.
and other, Twitter and things like that. They all have their personalities. And the reason I love LinkedIn is because you can actually build relationships. And I love building relationships and having relationships and connecting with people I know, and asking them for jumping on the pirate broadcast and things like that. And it's really exciting time we're living in, and the ability to broadcast like this and share the talent and the gifts of people like yourself, and really get out there and push the envelope and see what we can create and test it out and evaluate what's going to happen next. Because I'm excited about it, and I know that so many people I talk to are also excited about it. So what's up next for Michelle? What do you have in the plans? What's on the
Well,
roadmap?
I'm really evolving into my speaking, and taking a little bit more of my approach on an international and global basis.
Mm-hmm.
I've been asked to speak in London, in Philippines, in
Mm-hmm.
Singapore, Australia. That's where I shine the most. I'm very much an in-person, feel the energy,
Uh,
and really evolving my LinkedIn coaching consulting business more at a higher level, and at a bigger level. Recruiting is a great vehicle for me and my financial vehicle. I'm a beast at it, but
mm-hmm.
it's not my heart and my purpose. It's about getting in front of people and really helping them find the power of their voice by being boldly asking. I find by taking those steps, I mean, I've had a very, very big goal and dream for the last 15, 20 years. I want to fly on a private jet with my Fab Five, to Dubai, and I want to speak in front of 5,000 women from the Asian Eastern Hemisphere and teaching them boldly about the power of their voice. So
Yeah.
I've got the art of the ask, and then I have LinkedIn, and I can combine both of them or one of them together. And that will happen for me, and I keep speaking it and manifesting it, and it's going to happen.
Fantastic, fantastic. So your website, share it again.
Ask about LinkedIn.com. Ask about LinkedIn.com. And here's what I'll say. The word ask stands for: A is activity or action.
Uh-huh.
S is speak it, say it. And K is keep it moving.
Fantastic, fantastic. So if you have to leave one thing with the world today, what is it, Michelle?
Well, I'll say two. Is if you don't remember anything in this pirate broadcast, is to get off your ask. Don't be afraid to ask, and remove the outcome and expectations. Just ask and let the universe dictate what the outcome looks like, rather than you creating a story in your head of what that is.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. I'm so excited to connect with you, Michelle, and
Ditto.
and hopefully the rain will be reduced a little bit here in Houston, and we can go on about our day. And it's just so amazing. So Lonnie Ray says, mic drop, goal, Michelle. You make that happen. Such an inspiration. Wow.
Thank you.
Lori, go big or go home. Wendy's working on the art of the ask. So you've inspired some people here today, and
Thank you.
I just want to applaud and thank you so much for being here, Michelle. And I look forward to the next opportunity we can connect and catch
Yeah.
up and do what we can do. So
Well, I just appreciate all that you're doing for the community, Russ, and I hope to see you again real soon, but hopefully maybe next time in person.
awesome, awesome.
All right.
We'll do. Take care.
Bye,
And
everybody.
as you know, kindness is cool.
That's right.
Smiles are free. And you enjoy the day.